seaweed is so much greener in somebody else's wake. We dream about going up there. Well, that is a big mistake.
Y'all, Cory's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, I don't even know why. I think I saw at my work, one of my associates had a Disney shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know any of the Disney villains. And then I started singing Disney because we grew up with Disney, so it's like a big deal, you know?
We just came back from Disney.
Yeah,
it's a very big deal to us.
Right, and we came back from Disney. It was a wonderful place.
It's the happiest place.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of energy, and I am jacked to be back, guys. Feeling good.
I hope you missed us.
Did you miss us?
They didn't even notice we were gone.
Right? No one was like, "Oh, that's still a podcast." Well, joke's on you. We're back. Should we start the show?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Nation podcast, the podcast where we talk about the monotony of daily life. But you know what? That's okay, because sometimes that's exactly what you need in this crazy world. My name, yes, is Cory Estreen. I am back, and I am joined with the lovely Taylor Huff. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I didn't pick a word.
That's okay.
I am, to be honest, I'm tired.
Yeah, she's pretty tired, but it's okay. I will carry the show in my backpack.
Yes, in your little backpack.
Yeah, we got a great episode for you, though.
We have a ton of stories.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about today.
We got a lot of freaking info.
So let's get into it.
Bev of choice, bro.
But before we start the show, make sure that you go right now and follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Nation Pod for all the coolest content on the internet. And for you visual people, head over to YouTube and smash the subscribe button and like every video to show that you care. So what are you drinking?
I am drinking today a coffee to fuel me.
Is it working?
I'm pretending it is. I think it's placebo effect. So the thing is, because I had COVID, I can't taste it. So I'm drinking hot liquid right now.
So how many days are we actually on the no tasting train?
Oh, almost 2 full weeks? Over 2 full weeks now?
I feel bad for you, personally.
Okay, we'll get into
We'll
this
get
later,
into it. Well, we'll get into
I'm
it.
drinking some kind of hot liquid.
Well, very, very nice. Very nice. I am drinking something that I found at Aldi. Again, 99 cents. Winning. It is called Amp. Or Amply? It's called Amply. Blue Raspberry. It is an energy drink with a lot of creatine. It says creatine about 15 times around the top of the can.
Like this is creoline.
No, it says creatine.
Oh, that's a tea.
Creoline in an energy drink?
No.
It is, and I was so excited to drink this, guys. I ruined your fun. I already popped it. You're not going to hear the pop, but
we can pretend.
It tastes great. I'll say it tastes like a... Yeah, there you go. That was a beautiful little,
Thank you.
Little soundbite there. That's nice. So much energy. Tastes good.
Ew.
I like it. So that is a beverage of choice. And then what do we got now? What are we talking about? But first.
Upvotes and downvotes.
Upvotes and downvotes. Before we get into our main topic, what is your upvote? Let's get the upvotes out of the way first.
Because we all know what the downvote is.
Because we know what the downvotes is. What's your upvote?
My upvote is, for a couple of days this week, the temperature dropped below 80 and it felt like fall. And I'm a basic girl. So I put up all my decorations. I bought anything pumpkin flavored I could buy. Even though I can't very much taste it.
Yeah, she bought a lot of stuff. She even bought pumpkin freaking...
pasta.
Yeah, pasta. You know, like, what are those? Raviolis?
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin raviolis. Weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be.
Pumpkin Alfredo.
Yep, lots of pumpkin. It's lovely.
It's basic white girl season.
It's basic. I like the pumpkin spice lattes, so I can't really complain about those. I also like the fashion. I think the fashion in fall is the best.
It is.
The colors, you know.
To speak to you.
Yeah. All the colors of the wind. No more Disney.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
What's your upvote,
My
sir?
upvote. I didn't talk about Disney at all.
No.
But yes, we did go to Disney with my parents. It was a grand old time. And the best part about getting to Disney this time was going in the cantina. The Star Wars cantina.
Oga's Cantina.
Got super lucky. Someone canceled and we got in there at like 9:30 or something, right?
9:20 a.m.
Yes, and that thing is freaking cool, guys.
It's so neat.
Spent a lot of money in there, but it is like the Star Wars cantina in the Star Wars movies.
Yes.
You know, the dun 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 Dun, 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 dun.
Disney's gonna copyright the shit out of this show.
Did she not know? Yes, but it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
We had some fizzy drinks that made our faces go numb. Couldn't feel anything. Yeah, just
I
crazy.
had a drink with dry ice in it.
Yes, so it
And
bubbled.
sparkles.
Yes. It was very nice. Very
It was
nice.
so cool.
Let's move on. You'll see the pictures on Instagram if you want to see Taylor in wonderful Mickey ears.
Yes.
Yes. So let's get on with the show.
COVID.
Yeah.
We got it. We survived.
Yeah, it happened finally. Almost 2 years later, guys.
You know.
And we finally caught it. We caught the beast.
It sucked, but we didn't get hospitalized or anything.
Speak for yourself. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I was hospitalized at home.
At home.
No, it was rough. I think I got it worse than you did, though.
Really?
I think I got it worse.
about the same.
Really? Because you didn't
Yeah.
get any of my back pain. I don't think you... No, I guarantee you. Because you didn't stay up. You weren't up 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. every night with the back pain. That was really
I would
bad.
wake up. So this is what I would do. I would wake up and I was uncomfortable and felt sickly. And I knew the only way to get rid of that was to force myself to close my eyes and fall asleep so I wouldn't have to think about the pain.
Yeah, so that's good, except I had so much pain that it was impossible for me to fall asleep.
Okay. Well,
I literally, so the COVID was pretty bad for me. Every night from about 1:30 to 7 a.m., didn't sleep any of that every single night. There's nothing I could have done. I took baths in the middle of the night. I got heating pads. I had to change and not sleep on the sheets because they would get soaking wet. Couldn't sleep in those. It was miserable for like 5 straight days.
yeah.
The back pain was, and I dealt with the back pain through Disney as well. It was straight. It was very bad.
We didn't realize that Cory had COVID before we even left for Disney.
Yeah.
He had back pain and headaches. And I just thought he was old.
Yeah, I thought it was from work and then I realized like towards the end on the day we were returning, I was like, something is seriously wrong. So we were gonna get a COVID test the day of our return from Disney, but couldn't. They were all booked up, so we got one the next day. And that day we had super fevers.
Yeah, we had fevers. We were both nauseous. We both had chills.
Yeah, we didn't even
had
make
aches.
it to the COVID test. We had to stop on.
Oh my God.
I thought we were gonna throw up. And then I was like, oh, slow down. I'm going to have to throw up. It was no good.
Yeah, that was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable.
And the interesting thing, now is that, like, so I got it. I believe I got it from work. And
I'm
then I gave
so.
it to you.
Yeah.
100% I gave it to you.
Oh, yeah.
And you're vaccinated.
I am vaccinated. And you gave it to me still.
So it was probably, do you think it would have been worse for you?
I think so. Only because of my asthma. I didn't have any asthma issues besides at the airport that one day. I was struggle busting real hard. But I think if I hadn't been vaccinated, I would have had a harder time with my asthma and breathing.
Yeah, on the freaking trip back too was a struggle bus.
Oh my God.
Like barely making it
We
through.
were in the line at security and I was holding back tears because I was so hot and couldn't breathe. I was in so much pain.
Yeah, it was rough. Don't
We're
worry,
better.
we wore a mask the entire time, so we did not spread.
Yes, we wore a mask.
We sanitized. We didn't touch anyone
We
or
tried
anything.
not to touch anything.
Yep, but we did have to get home, so we didn't really have a choice.
No. And I still can't taste. I can taste sweet, salty, spicy right now.
Yeah, and I completely lost my appetite, so I didn't eat for like lots. I ate little things for like 4 or 5 days straight. And then Taylor's like, "Hey, bro, you got to eat something because you're feeling weak as hell."
Yeah.
And you don't look good.
Well, I wasn't hungry because I couldn't taste anything, but I knew that you have to get calories in. You have to get calories in. So I was just forcing food into my stomach.
Well, right, but I mean, you at least could eat. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Even if you couldn't taste it, you could feel, I feel hungry, I got to eat. The problem for you is you couldn't taste anything, so you're like, I'm just eating.
I just
don't
didn't want
yeah.
to eat.
So she was enjoying pickles and things that she doesn't
Yeah!
normally. She got to eat textures and things that she doesn't normally. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it. I only lost my taste for like a day. It was like
Not
24 hours.
even.
It was 24 hours I lost my taste. But imagine eating your favorite food and tasting like freaking wax, because that's what COVID tasting my pizza was. Like, bro, I never want to taste pizza like that again. It was not fun. We were in here for a good 7 days, 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, couldn't go to work, couldn't do anything, and the time went super fast. I was surprised. the days would just roll, when you're not doing it.
We were so tired. We just slept.
Yeah.
Well, I was working half, like 50%.
Yeah, she was trying to work from home, which, I mean, good for you. But there was even if I was clear to go to work, there was no way I was working. Like, I just felt, like, horrible. And the biggest thing is, like, I noticed other people, too, when they get COVID, they're like, did you feel bad? Like, not, like, super depressed or anything, but, like, kind of depressed. I don't even know how to describe it. Where you just don't feel happy. You're feeling bad, but you also feel like
a random dose of like seasonal depression.
Depression or something. I got a little bit of that too, and then it started to clear up once my energy started to return, which is only a few days, like a week after I was cleared for the quarantine and went back to work. I didn't get starting my energy until 3-4 days after, and now I'm pretty much full capacity right now.
Yeah, that's true. I did feel kind of like a Debbie Downer. Like, I was trying to stay positive in my brain, but it's hard to just not hate everything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it was rough. So at work, when I did go back to work, I've been having a real difficult time lifting anything, like getting the energy, and then randomly having like nausea attacks, where like, oh man, I feel like lightheaded. I need a drink of water.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I get hot flashes.
Yeah, it's
hot flashes, and I'm exhausted at the end of the day.
See, that's where I can't differentiate because work's been stressful, so I don't know if it's work or it's been pretty bad. So, like, yeah, it's normal. Sleep 10 hours, wake up, still feel tired. Is it COVID? Is it work? I don't know.
It's probably a good mix of both.
Yeah, it's probably both, but we are feeling a lot better.
Yeah, so much better.
So we have our own COVID experiences now. So anyone who's like, you haven't had it, you don't know what it's like. Well, now I do. And the good thing is according to an Israeli study that went on, apparently natural immunity to COVID and the antibodies and everything are like 27, 28 times stronger than the vaccines. So I got that going for me.
Well, I got more going for me because I was vaccinated and I have the antibodies.
See, but I don't know if
Which is so stupid.
Yeah, but I don't know if that is like more. They don't know if that's stronger, having the vaccine and having had it or whatever. They don't know if that is.
I'm assuming I got the Delta variant, so I feel like I'm just more protected against different variants now.
I don't know. But we'll see. But I bet you anything I won't get it again.
I'm hoping. I better not get it again. Are you kidding me?
Like both of us getting it, 28 times strength,
That's how we knew we had COVID. We were like, we've never both been sick at the same time in 5 years.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, we're both. And it's not just sick. It's like, I don't feel good. I can't walk. I'm going to throw up. I have 101 temperature. It's pretty bad. It's like, I can't feel my leg. Oh, yeah. According to the back pain, there's another weird thing. Like, it burned to pee, which is a weird side effect.
What?
Yeah, you remember that? I was like, it burned.
Forgot.
My pee burns. Like, really. Like, great. I get to go, I would pee a lot, and then it would burn. Like, I was like, flaming urine. But anyways, so I had that, but also all the skin all up and down my back was super freaking sensitive. You remember?
Yeah.
You couldn't touch anything, and they're like, maybe it's a kidney infection, because I guess that happens, like with your back and everything along your back with the sensitive skin. I was like, okay, and we ruled out we eventually obviously ruled out the kidney infection.
Once I got sick, we ruled out everything.
We ruled out everything. Well, we were able to finally get a test, and we were both positive. Like, okay, well, that's what it is. It's not fibromyalgia or whatever we thought.
No. Friday night when I got sick, I knew it was game over. And my sickness started with stomach issues.
Yeah.
I was in the bathroom at Disney Springs for an hour almost.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you're just like, leave me, go without me. I'll catch up later, hopefully.
I was gonna have an accident, and the security guard felt so bad for me because I'd keep walking. He's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. I was leaving, and he's like, are you sure you're okay to leave? I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my Uber driver, I was like, I'm not feeling good. Can you please just get me there as fast as you possibly can?
Yeah, part of me was like, just don't throw up in the Uber driver's car. Just don't throw up in the... Because I would get lightheaded, too, because it was sitting in the back seat, and I've been getting older, I don't do as well in the back seat.
Yeah.
So, like, I started noticing, I was like, oh, God, it's coming. Like, just hold on, 10 minutes, you can do it.
That's what I was doing.
I was like, otherwise, Dad, you're getting a puke splattered to the back of your head. So hopefully, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that was COVID.
That was COVID.
Before we move on from the COVID, there's a lot of COVID news. So I don't know if y'all know, but people are catching COVID around the country like crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's because of the no mask wearing and the lack of vaccinations. I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think the Delta variant is just 2 to 3 times more transmissible than the previous variant, and people aren't prepared against it.
Yeah.
Because the vaccinations don't work against the Delta variant.
No, clearly, I got it.
Yes,
So.
not just that. There are a total of 4 variants now.
Oh.
So y'all don't know what you get when you get COVID. You know that you have one of the variants. So here's the thing. Vaccine helps with your symptoms. Hopefully it helps with the new strains, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you still got to get boosters every 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. I'm going to say something that people are going to get mad at me for, but it's like the flu. Like, I get my flu shot every year. They give me a flu shot of whatever strain they think is going to be the most popular of that year. So
The most popular?
well, the most
Prevalent?
the most prevalent. Thank you. That's a better word.
Popular viruses.
Popular flu viruses. But they give me the one I think is going to be the most prevalent, and I either get the flu and my symptoms are lessened because I got my vaccine, or it's not because I got a different strain of the flu. So I think it's the same as the flu, to be honest. Like, that's how I'm treating it. That's how I think it's moving on with all the different variants. It's just like flu with all the different variants. I get my flu vaccine every year because I'm an asthmatic and it's really bad if I get really, really, really sick. Same with my COVID vaccine. I got it because my asthma, so I don't get really sick. So that's my
Right.
You'd be like, it's not the flu. I'm saying it's similar to the flu.
Well, and here's the thing about COVID. We've talked about COVID news, but we haven't really dove into COVID a whole lot.
No.
On our own, like, personal experiences, simply because we haven't had it. Talk a little bit about numbers and things, but now that we've actually had it, you know, we can give our own experiences, our own anecdotes to it. I mean, it is what it is at this point. It's like the problem is you're getting even more of a divide of people basically virtue signaling and condemning those just not getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
You know, when it's a personal choice. Like, by all means, it's a libertarian personal choice. And the people who should be worrying about COVID, which is probably people who haven't got the vaccine, they're not worrying about it at all. Like me. Like, I didn't worry about it at all.
No.
And I still don't worry about it at all. But the people who have the vaccines, the people who shouldn't be worrying about it, are worrying about it the most.
Yes.
Guys, you're protecting yourself with a vaccine. It has nothing to do with other people.
Yeah. It's not about others. It's protecting yourself using common sense.
Right.
Wash your hands. Don't pick your nose. If you're sick, stay home. Don't go around an elderly person.
Right.
Like, it's very common sense. It's things that we've been taught since we were little. When we had the cold and the flu, same thing.
For whatever reason, the media continues to push it, and that's why, like, they push the hospitalizations are up and everything. And if you if you delve more into the statistics on that stuff, you realize that over 50% of the people that go to the hospitals are either they have very, very mild symptoms, or they're asymptomatic. Did you know that?
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben Shapiro.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the overpopulation of the hospitals are something that the media likes to push. Delve deeper into it, you see it's not exactly what you think it is.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get into, like, the hospitalization issue more, but people are talking about how hospitals are so overrun and they have no capacity. We are not talking about the fact that they're overrun because they have a lack of nurses and a lack of staff.
Right, and why is that? Why do they have a lack of nurses?
Because they're saying if you're not vaccinated, you cannot work here.
Right,
So-
which is going on with not just nursing, but a whole lot of...
Literally everywhere.
Right.
But we're seeing the most effects of it in hospitals.
Yes.
Obviously, because we need them. So, yeah, there's a huge exodus of nurses, of hospital staff, straight up just quitting their jobs because the hospital says either get the vaccine or you can't work here.
Which is interesting because there is a huge, like you said, exodus of nurses leaving. Mm-hmm. Despite a lot of the nurses virtue signaling to everyone, telling them how much they should get the vaccine, everything. But I think you have a huge proportion of nurses themselves who won't get vaccinated. What does that tell you? Yeah. People will be on both sides. Mm-hmm. So,
well, I just think what's crazy is, 12 months ago, we didn't have, there was no mandate for nurses to be vaccinated to treat people. So why do they have to have a mandatory vaccine now?
Right.
Like, they were treating people 12, 16, 18 months ago for the exact same thing. But now you're going to force a vaccine? You know, I just think it's very crap. Like, oh, when we really needed you, we relied on you. We don't need you that much anymore, so.
Right.
Like,
well,
get lost.
right. So they're telling, oh, the hospitals are so, but then it's their own policies that are forcing people out. First of all, it's definitely going into your civil liberty of being able to choose what you want to do with your body.
Yes.
We won't even get into the abortion issue.
No.
But, like, people like to compare them.
Yes.
But this is definitely going against civil liberty on being able to choose what you put in your body. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem that people have. Nurses are quitting all over. Yes. And here's another little statistic just to put it in perspective for you guys. When people say, but kids are super with the Delta
prone
variant to the Delta variant.
Yeah.
Guys, in 2 full years, you've had only 412 people under the age of 20 die. In 2 full years. Do you have any idea how minuscule that is compared to the flu or
RSV?
RSV? Do you have any idea what the ratios are there?
Yeah.
It's not even close. Same thing with vehicles. The analogy to driving. Mm-hmm. You get in a car every day, and that kills far more people than COVID does.
Yeah.
But you get in a car every single day, and you have a higher chance of.
You make that decision for yourself.
Right. The problem is that a lot of these minorities that are really vocal, these minority people groups that are very vocal, like the leftists, they are determining what your risk tolerance is.
Yes.
That's not for them to determine. That's for you to determine.
Exactly.
So yeah, we got a couple other stories for COVID. What else we got?
So we have Mr. King of Podcasts, Joe Rogan. He got COVID. He only had symptoms for 3 days. In 3 days, he was completely, I'm not going to say healed, but better.
He was healed.
He was healed by modern medicine. He was taking ivermectin, which was prescribed to him by a doctor. He did not go buy it at some kind of Fleet Farm BS. It was prescribed by a doctor. It is legal and perfectly humane for humans to take. It's not only for horses. He was also getting IV drips, a bunch of different vitamins of, I can't pronounce it, monoclo something.
Yeah, it's all you, bro.
Yeah. I can't pronounce it, but it's a bunch of souped up vitamins in an IV bag. And then he was also taking something else, I believe. But he took all of that as soon as he started feeling like shit. 3 days later, totally fine. Back to chilling in his yard.
He does a lot more than normal people will. Like, normal people aren't getting IV drips of vitamins.
No.
Normal people are like, oh, I feel bad, stay home. Right?
Yeah.
There isn't, like, a treatment, really, for COVID. When you go to the doctor, they say, quarantine yourself, drink lots of fluids, get some rest.
They tell you to do things for flu.
The exact same thing. Like, what? Take some ibuprofen?
Well,
you know?
they are.
Take some Advil?
Some
like,
places
whatever?
are prescribing the ivermectin.
Right, but that's to help. That's not like a treatment.
Oh,
really.
no, it's to help with symptoms.
Right,
yeah.
like all this is
There's
to help
no
with the symptoms.
cure.
It's not like a cure or a treatment.
Yeah.
You go to the hospital, they're going to do the same thing for you that you would be doing at home for yourself. Mm-hmm. You know?
I mean, it's the same thing with the flu, though. Like, when you go to the hospital for the flu or pneumonia or something like that, like, they give you fluids in an IV. They may put you on some steroids. That's about it. They kind of just watch you and make sure you don't die through it.
Here, do we got to put you on a ventilator? Well, I heard the ventilators can cause death, too. Do you know that? Did you hear that?
That's a whole big
That's
thing.
crazy, man. These things like, here we go, ventilator. You might get helped or you might die, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that scares me a little bit. But,
I know.
But yeah, Candace Owens.
So, Candace Owens, so she was traveling, doing different events, and in the state that she was in, they said that in order to be at her venue, you need to have a negative COVID test. She was speaking there, she needed to attend it, so she went to go get her negative COVID test, because obviously you have to do it within most venues, like here in Asheville, SB, no more than 24 hours before the event. So Candace signed up to go get her COVID test, and the business apparently does some Googling on everyone that registers for a COVID test there because they denied her COVID test due to political reasons.
Right. Well, yeah, they denied her because they don't like her political affiliation or beliefs. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's an issue.
Yeah, that's real crap.
Think what you may on that one.
She was trying to do the right thing. She was trying to abide by their local laws.
Right, I know. It's like, oh, she's shit for, not doing the COVID duty. And then she goes to do the COVID duty, and they're like, no, we don't like you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, there's a Biden executive order, or at least one that they want to push, that's going to require companies over 100 employees to get vaccinations in order to work with them. That's a problem.
Or you have to get tested weekly as an employee.
Right. How do you feel about that?
I think that they're private businesses and they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, they're doing, but private and the government jobs, all of them.
Yeah.
They want everyone over 100 people.
That is wild. That's very communist sounding.
I will tell you right now that my job required me to get the vaccine. I'd probably quit.
Or weekly COVID testing.
Yeah, that's nuts, first
That's
of all.
insane.
And it's hard to get it's not hard to get a COVID test, but people are getting a lot of COVID tests right now.
Yeah.
Very inconvenient to do that every week.
Mm-hmm.
So
wait, has your job mentioned it at all to you? Because my company has not said a dime about it.
No, neither mine. Most companies I don't think are going to force people.
I think everyone's ignoring it, to be honest.
Well, first of all, it would cost the company a lot of money to do this.
Yeah.
Each company. And they're not about it.
So much money.
Yeah, crazy. I think it's $50 an employee per week is what it would cost.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's wild.
That's expensive.
I did see a company was doing this as a joke, that their COVID test, the jelly beans that are gross flavors,
Yep.
like in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Okay, so their daily COVID test was that everyone eats one of those jelly beans. And if they can taste the gross flavor, then they don't have COVID.
Actually, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Okay, fine. I'll take your test. You've got me.
You eat a jelly
Yeah.
bean.
So before we move on, let's stop talking about COVID. We will listen to Biden give his weird commie speech about COVID and that their patience is wearing thin. Tell me how you feel about this.
Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated, even though the vaccine is safe, effective, and free. While the vaccines provide strong protection for the vaccinated, we read about and hear about and we see the stories of hospitalized people on their deathbeds, among the unvaccinated over the past few weeks. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. The unvaccinated overcrowd our hospitals, are overrunning emergency rooms and intensive care units, leaving no room for someone with a heart attack or pancreatitis or cancer. This is not about freedom or personal choice. So tonight, I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week. My message to unvaccinated Americans is this: what more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see? We've made vaccinations free, safe, and convenient. The vaccine has FDA approval. Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
Is that creepy or what?
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, straight up, he's basically forcing people as as your leader, you do this or else. Like, that is what it is.
He is Palpatine.
Well, kind of. And he kind of looks like Palpatine, which is Palpatine that doesn't know where he is half the time. But yes, yeah, it is super, super creepy, super disturbing. Mm-hmm. They are stepping over the line. It is nuts.
Yeah, I think this Supreme Court is something's going to get thrown up to the Supreme Court very soon.
It's people are just not going to follow that. I mean, you're straight up taking away civil liberties now. And you don't think that's a problem. That's another thing. They just our patience is wearing thin. Don't make us force you. What the hell? Do you realize we're in 2020, almost 2022? Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me right now?
In America.
Right. Bro, this is no good.
It's wild.
All right, let's move on. This is a big one as well. You're probably your biggest story of September, I would imagine.
Yes, definitely the biggest story. So I'm pretty sure everyone is relatively familiar with what's going on in Afghanistan. But a quick download is that we've been trying to get out of Afghanistan for literally forever. Like, no one is shocked by this. The Trump administration was working on it. Biden came into office, and he decided he was going to be the one to get us out of Afghanistan. That's all over. He announced that we are going to be leaving for sure on the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah, perfect time to be leaving, by the way.
Dude really knows
Bro.
how to pick a date. I think someone told him like that was a bad idea and everyone was mad about it. They pushed it up to wanting to be out by August 31st. They said we'll have everyone out by August 31st. Well, the military left on August 31st. But we kind of forgot something. We kind of forgot all of the Americans and the green card holders that were still stuck in the freaking country.
Like, very, very bad. It's just a bad decision, bad follow-up. The administration itself.
Lots of bad decisions. It was really poor planning.
Straight up getting people killed, too.
Yes. So, I mean, everyone knows about the 13 Americans that were killed in the bombing that was done by ISIS. Then the Biden administration was relying on the Taliban to help them secure the airfield from ISIS, which just saying that sounds like the biggest joke in the world.
Yeah, it's like, let's ask the Taliban's help.
For
it's
help.
like, by the way, we're leaving. I know we're going to take over all these people. It's going to be this ruthless, dictatorship type deal.
But before you do that, can you help us?
Can you help us?
Get out.
Yeah, get out. We'll leave you all our shit, too, by the way. We're going to leave all our guns. We're going to leave all our Humvees, tanks, all of our tech.
Well, the reason we left all of that was for the Afghani army.
Oh, yeah.
No one realized how we should have realized how quickly the Taliban took over and the Afghan army was like, oh shit, like, no, we can't handle this. Like, we lay down our weapons, like, game over.
Right, like,
it happened in the span of a couple of days, which is wild. The complete collapse of everything we'd built up for all of these years was just like, not down the toilet, but I mean, the president fled the country and the Taliban was working out in his gym for fun. That's a pretty grotesque image, in my opinion.
Yes, I don't even know what to think about this. It's just,
yeah.
If people don't yet realize why we need embassies and camps in every country to help monitor, this is a perfect example of why we have to stay.
The U.S.
At least
has
a little
presence in so many countries.
Right.
Like, what we were doing, in my opinion, I know I'm not an expert, but was working. We had a relatively small amount of people there. We were still helping the Afghan army, keep things civil. We were helping train them, helping them become self-sufficient. We weren't losing money by being there still.
Well, it's not just that. The money that you're using to monitor and have a small presence there is worth the alternative, as you can see.
Yes.
And here's another thing is, like, say what you want, but Trump was like the only president not to start a war.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And in fact, he created more peace. He had some of the best international affairs with these people. These people respected him.
Yes.
He's
and
the first.
Also feared the U.S., which I think has not happened in a very long time.
Yeah, same thing with Syria. All of this, like this, and then now everything's falling apart now that he's not there.
Yes. So yeah, we left a bunch of Americans. We left a bunch of green card holders. They were told to not come to the airfield because there's no safe path for them, and that they were going to be stuck there. So thankfully, there's people out there who care and want to help and do the right thing. There was a private team of military veterans that rescued 4 Americans. The State Department did try taking credit for this.
And even all the media, like CNN and all them, are trying to, like, and it was the State Department, right? And it was no, shut up. It wasn't the State Department. Stop trying to push this narrative.
It's private citizens trying to do what's right.
Right.
So yeah, the private team of military veterans helped rescue these people. We also had Glenn Beck and the Nazarene Fund. It's this
coalition.
Thank you. I was going to say
it's a coalition of a whole bunch of people that he knew, helped get together, a lot of philanthropists getting together, pooling some of their money to be able to fund this operation, but get a whole bunch of people out. It started with Christians, but they started taking everyone because they realized it's not just Christians over there, and they started to get a lot more money, so they just tried to help everyone they could get out of there.
They raised $35 million to get as many people out as they could. So they started with Christians, then they realized that there's green card holders are still Americans there. I think there was still like a couple of Canadians left there. And then it's the Middle East. They're not so great about gay people. That's not a thing they do there. So Glenn Beck himself tried to reach out to GLAAD and different women's orgs, because obviously women were scared to leave their houses. They're staying indoors. They were too scared to walk outside. So they're trying to help evacuate these people. And all the women's organizations he reached out to and GLAAD did not want to participate in this fund and did not want to help them.
That tells you a lot about him.
Well, and he wasn't even asking them for money for his fund. He was asking, you know where these people are and I don't. Help me figure out where they are so we can help evacuate them.
Right, and they wouldn't help.
Yeah, which is just really sad. They didn't want to pull our resources just for the better good of people.
Right, that's how you know it's not about the women, it's about the narrative.
Yeah.
Or about gay people, it's about the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
It's for those of you who don't know who Glenn Beck is, he does have a show on the Blaze TV. He is
conservative.
He's a conservative commentator. But yeah, check out his show if you are a part of the Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good dude. Has a lot of good information and statistics too.
Yeah. There's also people who raised money because a lot of military dogs were left behind. People found out about it and obviously were PO'd. So people raised money, were able to get some of the dogs out. I don't know the exact amount, but what dogs they could get out, they helped them.
Yeah, that's just sad. I
mean, yeah,
humans dying one thing, but doggies. Doggies are over the line.
It is. I mean, it's sad, but it is nice that, people are trying to do what they can, even if they're just donating like $10, $15, $20 to a fund. It does go a long way, and people are trying to do the best that they can to help out. So that's the end of all of the COVID in Afghanistan. Really depressing news. We have some happier stuff today. I promise. There was just a lot that happened this month.
Yeah, for example, Virginia removed the Robbie D. Lee statue. That's really fun, right? That's a good story.
That's not very
Yeah,
fun.
Isn't that's so fun?
Yeah.
Isn't everyone having fun? So much fun. All the fun.
Yep. So the Robert E. Lee statue in Charlottesville, which everyone knows about Charlottesville and all the things that happened there a couple years ago. That's where a bunch of protests were happening. They removed the statue.
I mean, let's be honest. It was pretty badly vandalized at this point anyways.
Yeah. I mean, you should just assume any statue or any rock that anyone is offended by is going to be removed.
Right,
so.
Exactly. All right. This is a sad story as well. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Let's push through.
The California recall. Larry Elder lost.
Unfortunately.
Not as bad as one would think though, considering California's basically a big sinkhole of a bunch of leftists.
Didn't he get like 48% of the votes or
something? It was 46 for a while, then it dropped to like 40% after all obviously the mail-in ballots and
Yeah,
not talking about election fraud or anything, but basically all of your Democrats now, that's what we're going to do is it's close, but wait, there's more. It's going to be mail-in ballots to win all of the victories.
Okay, but still, 40% of California.
That's nuts.
That's a big freaking deal.
Nuts.
I think that's a win.
That is a win. That is a win, obviously, for people fighting for California. But here's another thing. Mm-hmm. All y'all who didn't vote for Larry Elder and want to recall, you deserve your shithole.
You're not allowed to move.
No. Your shithole.
You have to line your mess.
When y'all are leaving in mass numbers for the first time in California, more people leaving than joining California, y'all deserve your shithole. And don't bring that shit to places like Tennessee or
Texas,
Florida or Texas. Don't be bringing your shit here. Don't be bringing your politics. Keep it in your shithole. Where you keep continuously voting Democrats who have these horrible freaking policies. Yes.
Wow.
That's how I feel about that.
I agree with you.
Do you want to add anything, or you think I got it?
I feel as though you covered your resentment for Californians, so I think we're good.
It's Californians that don't want to fix their home. Mm-hmm. It's irritating. They continuously have all of these policies with their schools, with their homeless population, the whole thing. They leave Gavin Newsom walk all over them, and then continuously follow the media, follow him, and think conservatives are the problem.
They vote for policies that sound good and sound nice, and don't think about how it's going to affect where they live.
Yeah, straight up freaking, they're sheep. Like, they are sheep. That's what's sad about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the few people that are there, 40% that obviously voted for Elder, the sane people, they have to live there because you force them into it. Because the population, because it's California and it's cities and leftists gravitate in cities, they all have to live through everything you're putting them through.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear about people complaining about California when y'all keep voting in the same people. So if you want to see the change, vote for people who are gonna make change, not keep y'all in lockdowns. We even have a Gavin Newsom victory speech where he's celebrating the fact that you're all locked down and have to wear masks and you're enforcing equity on companies when it should be about competence. I don't want to hear about it. Y'all can deal with it.
Should we play the clip?
Play the clip. Play it. I'm done here. Mic drop.
I want to focus on what we said yes to as a state. We said yes to science. We said yes to vaccines. We said yes to ending this pandemic. We said yes to people's right to vote without fear of fake fraud or voter suppression. We said yes to women's fundamental constitutional right to decide for herself what she does with her body, her fate and future.
I mean, I don't want to keep bringing up Palpatine, but no, who does he remind me of? Like, he actually reminds me of some sort of weird Disney villain, though.
Oh.
Like, I don't know who it is, but, like, he reminds me of a Disney villain. It's like those people who are
like
super...
Gaston?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Not as pompous, but definitely. More villainous.
close.
More villainous than Gaston, though.
Gaston?
Gaston. More villainous than Gaston, for
More
sure.
villainous.
Either way, I don't know. He's going to keep spending lots of money, going to his private parties. Bro, I'm so glad we moved to Tennessee instead of...
California?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got some resentment build up for California.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting it out. I'm venting to you guys. Feel my pain. Speaking of Gavin Newsom.
Oh, yeah. He was backed by the Netflix CEO. The Netflix CEO put out anti-Larry Elder ads about, him being toxic masculinity or whatever.
No, he's a black white supremacist. Remember?
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
That's also,
Same thing with Obama. Do you see Obama ads? Everyone don't vote for Larry. Do you see that? You want to vote for... It's like, Obama, bro, come on. You don't... California is burning down. How are you supporting this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
I think it was just really hard because since it was a recall and not just a normal election, Gavin Newsom didn't have any fund limits. He could raise as much money as he wanted to use for ads, for all of, for everything. Versus since Larry was since he was the incumbent, he wasn't allowed, he didn't have unlimited funds. He had a threshold that he couldn't go over. So I feel as though if it would have been a normal election, it would have been a little bit more of a fair fight.
there is some hope that Larry Elder will be seen more in the political sphere as well. He did say, we lost the battle, but we will win the war. So whatever that means to you, one can hope.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. There's a lot of stuff coming up. What, 2 years out? No, 3 years?
3
It's still
years.
3 years. This year is so slow.
We haven't even been through one
I know.
full year
It's
of
just
Biden.
like, bro, and Biden's almost dead already. Okay.
I have no words.
Let's move on from this shite.
I had a transition that I will not use because that would have been inappropriate.
All right. I trust your lack of faith is disturbing. I'm just kidding. That was a
okay.
Star Wars. Lots of Star Wars and Disney references today.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
So Gabbi Petito, I think everyone is fairly familiar with this story. She went on a road trip with her boyfriend/fiance, and she ended up going missing during the road trip. And he came back to Florida, just pretend like nothing happened, like she wasn't missing somewhere. So literally the entire U.S. has been into the story, invested. All of the girls like me have been creeping on Instagrams and vlogs and camera footage to try and find where this girl is. It's this huge nationwide thing to figure out, where is she? Is she alive? Is she missing? Unfortunately, they did find her body in Wyoming. She's in Grand Tetons National Park. But her boyfriend is missing. You know, the boyfriend that just left her body in Wyoming. He's missing. No one can find her. Again, the entire U.S. is trying to find her. DeSantis has pulled
Him.
Trying to find him. We can't assume what he identifies as, Cory. That's really inconsiderate.
Right. He's Z or something.
Yeah.
My pronouns are they, them, even though it's plural, and I'm a dumbass. Okay.
Anyways, FBI is looking for him. DeSantis pulled resources looking for him. And Dog, the freaking bounty hunter, is looking for him.
Yeah, you gotta explain what this is. I don't know what this or who this dog is.
He doesn't know who Dog the bounty hunter is.
I don't. I have no idea.
Okay, Dog the bounty hunter is the most famous bounty hunter ever. He lives in Hawaii. His entire family works for him, and he's a bounty hunter. He used to have a reality show about him being a bounty hunter.
That's pretty dope, actually.
He's so freaking
and
cool.
To be honest, like with a name like that, I'm Dog the bounty hunter.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
He looks like a late 80s like WWE wrestler. He's super tan, he's super jacked, and he's a bleach blonde mullet.
Wow. Oh, I think I know who you're
talking
talking
about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
He's amazing, and he is on the hunt. So I'm confident that Dog will get Brian, because Brian is 100% guilty.
And definitely a woman. Just kidding. So
Yes.
Another thing I want to talk about with this story is people talk about the white woman missing syndrome. It's like, oh, every time there's a white woman missing, everyone cares and the media cares, and they don't care like when a black woman, it's not the same ratio. Well, first of all, if you want to share a story, just share the story. Who cares?
Yeah,
Okay?
Who cares what the person's race
And the
is?
reason it appears like there's more white women missing on the news is because it's much rarer than when Black American women go missing or Asian American go missing. That happens a lot more. You know that 30 people on average die every weekend in Chicago and no one covers it? You could cover this story every weekend if you wanted.
Yeah.
But they won't. The media won't because it doesn't fit their narrative. They only cover the things they want you to see. But people always complain about the white woman missing syndrome.
I've never heard about this until you explained it to me.
Yeah, it's rare, you get a white woman missing and then like, let's find her. Oh, is she dead? Is she alive? I don't know. We'll see. Is it OJ? I don't know.
That was just crazy to me. Like, if you see an article about a girl missing, who cares like what her race is?
Yeah, I don't
Just
care.
share it, and
Share it.
hopefully maybe someone can help you.
Right.
Like, can help find her.
Get back to actually doing the news, maybe like journalism, like proper journalism.
Wild concept. Cory.
Yeah. Well, I try.
Don't say such crazy things.
I know. I'm gonna get canceled.
Okay, we finally have some non-depressing news.
Yeah.
It is gala and film festival season and award season right now, and my fashion heart is just living for it. So Cory doesn't care about any of these stories, and I'm hoping at least like 2 of you care, because I'm going to talk about it anyways. So we had the Venice Film Festival. Zendaya went to it. She is styled by Roche, who is like an iconic stylist, has been styling Zendaya for years. But she wore a Balmain dress that was made out of leather, and it was the most beautiful dress I've seen on a red carpet in a very long time. It was so cool. Cory's looking at me. He doesn't care.
I don't know. These people look like the only advantage to this is everyone looks like Hunger Games. That's all I know.
No, her dress was brown leather, and how it contoured to her body, it was so cool.
Look it up, guys. Look it up.
Yes, please look it up, because it was freaking beautiful, and I was stunned. Like, I just kept looking at pictures of her in this dress. Also, we had the Met Gala was finally back because it did not happen last year. And this year was the American Lexicon of Fashion. So, my issue with the Met Gala is the theme was American Lexicon of Fashion. So I was assuming we were going to see a bunch of old Hollywood glamour, lots of denim, some kind of American flags, symbols, very like Bruce Springsteen vibes. And we did not see this.
What do we see?
Okay, so I got 2 good looks, 2 bad looks. J-Lo wore this brown dress, very Indiana Jones-y. I think she met the brief. She looked like a chic explorer of the great American West. So, I think she met the brief. She looked hot as hell. Is beautiful. And then Billie Eilish, who was one of the co-chairs for this year, did a Marilyn Monroe inspired look, and it was freaking beautiful. It was this huge giant dress, and it was so pretty. Two people I did not like. Kim Kardashian just wore straight up black all over her entire body. She just wore like this weird black jumpsuit with two tails off the end, and she had a mask on. It was weird. It did not fit the brief. She just looked like everyone's freaking shadow. There's a lot of funny memes about her being like your depression. She's just standing behind people and she's a shadow. And then I think the one everyone knows I'm going to talk about is AOC's Tax the Rich dress.
Yeah.
First of all, from a fashion standpoint,
I actually like the dress.
are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, I think it's kind of neat. But
It didn't fit her. It was so ill-fitted.
But I like the whole like kind of
You like the
bloody type of a deal.
concept.
Yes, the concept of the dress I like. I like the
Okay.
bloody kind of like a bloody like written language across her in
Okay.
blood. I like that. I don't like the message, and it's AOC.
Okay. I think the dress was poorly fitted, and she clearly did not have enough fittings to make sure it fit her. Also, the Tax the Rich was in like Chick-fil-A font. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, that is. Well, was it?
literally, yes, Chick-fil-A font.
Oh, well, yeah,
So-
I did not like it.
That's what I didn't like. If you're going to make a statement, at least make sure you do it well, in my opinion. Also, do you want to hear a really funny story? The designer of the dress has been evading her taxes for years.
That's hilarious.
There's stories, research came out that she has failed to pay rent at multiple of her locations. So she hasn't been paying rent. She hasn't been contributing to society. And then she also has been evading, is under tax evasion accusations right now.
You let that sink in. Let the whole idea behind this sink in. That's how you know these people are frauds,
Yeah.
man. They're frauds.
Tax the rich, except for the lady that designed this dress.
Right, and then let's blame everyone else for my problems.
Also, AOC paid $30,000 for her seat at the Met Gala.
I don't know if she paid that.
Okay, well, someone did.
Her ticket, I think, was donated to her. Her dress was $14,000 though, and she did pay for that.
Oh, okay. 14 grand really would have gone a long way to supply maybe education to those migrant children she's always so concerned about.
Hell no, man. Hell no, bro. Capitalism sucks.
That would have bought a lot of blankets and toys for those poor children
Yeah,
locked
but
in cages.
AOC, you're like a model. You look so good.
Ugh.
Turn. Oh, really? Oh my God. Did you see that video? I'm
Yeah.
like, you make me want to puke, bro. Like, move along.
Yeah.
You make me want to
Very
puke.
poor place to do that message.
Yeah, I don't know. AOC always makes me want to puke, so there's that.
She makes everyone want to puke.
Yeah.
Oh, another story that Cory does not understand.
I don't understand these references.
People, he's lived underneath a rock.
No.
So, we all know the Nirvana cover, the famous CD cover with the baby underwater in the swimming pool with the dollar bill. Cory doesn't know this. But
I do now. Okay?
He knows now. Everyone else knows this. The guy who was the baby in the picture is suing for sexual exploitation. What do you think about this?
I think that he's a little bitch who's just trying to get a bunch of money.
So let me give you more details. He has recreated the album cover several times over the last 2 decades to get clout and like internet famous for when people forget about who he is.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
So when it's convenient for him to get followers and money and for people to remember who he is, he recreates the album cover. And now that he's like probably in his 30s, and that's kind of a little bit gross, now he's suing for sexual exploitation.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Anything to retain spotlight.
Yeah, it's all an act. It's all like, poor me, I'm not famous anymore.
Moving on. Now, this happened a little bit earlier. We're a little bit past this, but it still happened in September, and it was dastardly.
We had Hurricane Ira hit. So first she hit in New Orleans and then New Jersey and New York. In Jersey and New York, she flooded the subway system. So that's kind of crazy to think about. Like trying to wade down to the subway and you're in like feet and feet of water, like practically swimming. And then in New Orleans, obviously, New Orleans always gets hit by hurricanes.
Well, it's a big freaking bowl, man.
It's below sea level. We all know it. But there is a good story out of this, is that there is a bunch of cows that got loose during the hurricane and the flooding. So people used their airboats to herd the cattle to higher ground.
That's pretty dope.
And they called it real cowboying.
That's funny. You know what is funny though? I think it's like the land mammal that would survive water, I feel like would be cows. They're so buoyant. I just feel like they would float. Granted, they wouldn't be able to keep their head above the water, but their bodies are so fat and big. I feel like they would just kind of float down.
I mean, they can swim.
Yeah, but not in a hurricane.
Well, no, not in a hurricane.
Their little legs, I don't know how that, and they're so fat too. I feel
Yeah.
like, I feel like they would either drop like a rock or just they'd be buoyant and they'd float.
They float a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they use their airboats to herd them to higher land. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
People,
People
being
doing
nice.
good things. Of
People
course, to
doing-
animals. Always the best animal stories.
Yes. I always have to have an animal story.
Of course. What about the Waverly flooding in Tennessee here?
Oh, yes. So Waverly is outside of Nashville. We had really bad rains here from the hurricanes, and we had some really severe flooding. There were several lives lost. There was 2 twin newborns that unfortunately passed away. And then the Waverly High School was completely damaged along with their football field. So the Tennessee Titans are allowing them to play at Nissan Stadium for the rest of their season for the Waverly football team. And then also donated money to provide equipment for them.
Nice.
So it was cool, especially since those kids for the past 2 years haven't really got to play like full normal seasons because of COVID.
Right.
This would have been their chance to miss it again and not have the opportunity. So Loretta Lynn has done a bunch of donations, has done a bunch of things to raise more funding to help more people in Waverly. So R. Kelly finally had his trial, and he was found guilty on all counts and is going to be spending a life in prison.
Good, yeah.
Some good old fashioned, not payback.
Yeah, and this has been going on for a while, so thank God
it's finally over. The people who are affected by him finally have closure and can start moving on. Their families can start moving on.
yeah.
All
A good story.
Yes, good ending. Justice was served. On that note, I also did serve jury duty, and I got to serve some justice.
Bam.
Bam, guys. It was not R. Kelly. I was not on his jury, but whatever. We have a story from Washington State. So a teacher was told to take down her pro-police, the thin blue line flag that was hanging in her classroom that honored her brother, who is a police officer, because that flag is apparently a political symbol and would cause disruption in her classroom.
Yeah, God forbid people back our police, the ones protecting you. God forbid.
But her school does allow Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ symbols and messaging.
Yeah, that's because she's woke
Those
AF.
are totally fine.
Woke AF, man.
But she couldn't have a flag for pro-police, and then explained, I have this flag because my brother's a police officer, and he also served as a resource officer at a school where where there was a shooting, and he basically helped save the day.
You said this was in D.C.?
Washington State.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
Okay, yeah. I gotcha.
Obviously,
I was going to say,
Washington
because
State.
D.C. would be the same. It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, more people not liking the police.
We got, 2 more stories, and then we're done. This episode has been a bit longer because we had to catch up with you guys. It's been a while, okay?
Yes.
Last episode was the JP episode. That was forever ago, okay? It's been like a month.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling good. So we got, 2 more stories?
2 more. So, to wrap it up, 1, very bad news. 1 is just ridiculous. So, we'll start with the bad news one. So, the Democrat House Caucus wants to pass a new federal law. They voted 218 to 1. So, 1 person was against this in the Democrat House Caucus. Obviously, this isn't an official law, but it's on its way to becoming something. It will not pass. It is an abortion law that all states are to allow abortion up to birth if the healthcare provider sees a risk of either physical or mental health to the birthing person.
Oh, shit. So basically autistic or basically all autism then,
Well,
right? And other things too.
Mental health to the birthing person. So if the
Oh,
pregnancy...
birthing person, not
birthing-
birthed person.
No, birthing.
Wow.
Because you can't say it's a female.
So
or
mental health, that could be anything, couldn't it?
Yes.
So basically what you're saying is they're going to allow abortions all the way up until birth.
Yeah. The language says up to birth.
Wow.
And only one healthcare provider has to say what the reason is. It doesn't have to go through a vetting process or anything. So if one healthcare provider says, this is bad for my patient's mental health because she is anxious about not being able to afford this, she will have just cause to abort up to birth.
Well, and since Planned Parenthood is subsidized by their abortions, what do you think their leanings are going to be on allowing abortions?
Yeah, exactly.
Like these people who are doing the abortions, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they want to make money? Yeah, because they make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It's corrupt, guys. It's corruption. They do not care.
Yeah, it's very... I don't know who the one person was, but thank you for,
one person. Thank you very much.
Not
Whoever
just
you were.
going with the crowd.
Yeah, don't go with the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Again, it has a long way to go. And there's no way it's going to actually pass into federal law. But I thought that was really interesting that the House caucus was trying to pass it.
Yep, a whole bunch of corrupt people. Move on before I get too riled up on this.
Our last story is hilarious. So the Scientific American Journal released an article saying that Jedi in Star Wars are problematic white saviors.
Why are they problematic?
Oh, and are steeped in toxic masculinity. Isn't that funny?
Well, if you make out with your sister, is that toxic?
I mean, yeah, that's low-key toxic.
Hey, come here. Come here, honey.
So the Science magazine's goal, in addition to actual science, which we don't know if they actually do that anymore, they also are advancing social justice. So that's why they wrote this article.
Ah.
So the article was titled, Why the Term Jedi, and we all know what a Jedi is in Star Wars. Why the term Jedi is problematic for describing programs that promote justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. And that Jedis are inappropriate symbols for justice work. And that no one should be using the
acronym,
thank you, of Jedi. I didn't know anyone used that.
I did not know I'm going to be honest with you. I did not know it stood for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. I did not know
either.
that. The fact that equity's in there pisses me off, to be honest with you.
Well, okay, here's my thing.
How about if you're good at being a Jedi, then you become a Jedi?
Well, here's my thing. The whole Jedi thing, did they actually make it that acronym, or did these people just make up that
create
acronym?
it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what came first? Like, who created it first?
I don't know. With these leftists, I don't put anything past them.
Yeah, but they talk about how it's problematic, including white saviors, which I think is hilarious because one of the most incredibly strong Jedis is a freaking green man who's very small and tiny. His name is fucking Yoda.
Yeah, he's like one of the most well-known Jedi, not to mention Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Who does get killed by a angry white man. But, whatever.
Yeah. And they even talk about how the lightsabers are phallic shaped.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They are a religious order of intergalactic police monks, prone to white saviorism and toxic masculine approaches to conflict resolution. An example, violent duels with phallic lightsabers. Gaslighting by means of Jedi mind tricks. So the Jedi mind tricks, they're saying that it's gaslighting.
Oh my lord.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
What this is, this person who wrote this, bet you anything, she's a freaking woke lesbian. Guaranteed. I guarantee you she's a woke lesbian. We gotta figure out who wrote this.
Okay.
Guarantee you.
Oh, also the Star Wars franchise is trafficking injustices such as sexism, racism, and ableism. Hi, what about Princess Leia, who turns into freaking General Leia? How is that sexism?
I don't know. One of the strongest females in the freaking thing is Leia.
Yeah.
Like, she always has been, too.
Exactly. Always.
It's a bunch of garbage. These people come up with a bunch of garbage to push these nonsensical, progressive freaking narratives. It drives me nuts.
They also rely on racist stereotyping when depicting non-human species. So apparently the non-human species in the Star Wars series is racist stereotypes.
Yeah, if you can create any of that, like, oh, bro, racist stereotypes of all these random creatures that all have random...
I'm sorry, but what race is Jar Jar a
Yeah.
stereotype of?
Well, they would say Canadian, or what was it? Yoopers, Canadians. Remember when they did that? And then they removed him? Do you remember that?
No, wait, what?
Yeah, that's why Jar Jar wasn't in the movies after the second one.
What?
Or after the first one. The second one, he was slightly in it, barely. They removed him because a bunch of, like, Northerners were upset because they thought it was representing their Yooper accents.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's why you don't see him, and you only see him in the first movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
But this is pre-wokeism, so these people
That's wild.
these people are just bitches. So yeah.
I like Jar Jar. He was so funny.
Yeah, Jar Jar's amazing. Everyone loves Jar Jar. It has nothing
I
to do
never
with
knew
freaking...
that's why he was removed from the movies.
It's such a joke. It's a joke.
That's crazy. That's our crazy, we gotta give you one crazy woke story for the
There you go.
month.
Guys, this has been just a dandy of an episode.
Yes.
Just a dandy, Head energy, good to go. I'm glad you're here with us, drivers. It took a month for us to get back. Our energy is, it's growing. It's growing with power. But
Oh my god.
next episode will be fully fledged.
Remember, we have bi-weekly show uploads on Wednesdays. Our next episode is going to be on October 13th.
Yeah.
Gearing up to the end of the year already.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies when you're sick.
Also, check out our affiliate link for Instacart. You can order your groceries for delivery through their app. They will text you if they're out of your product and offer suggestions. They will also not give you shitty produce, which other people do. I'm not going to say name.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Strive Nation podcast with your hosts, Cory, Estreen, and Taylor Huff.
Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Strive Nation Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Join us for our next episode in 2 weeks. And remember, when the world is upside down, Strive Nation is right side up for you guys. Have a good one.